Thanks again to those who've just joined us this evening, and welcome to our supported learning and transition live panel discussion for the Manchester College. I'm Amy and this is my colleague Amelia, and we'll be your hosts for the event this evening. We're going to hear from the additional supported learning managers, the team leaders for transition, and also one of our students, Mia, has joined us on how she's been supported since she started college. I'll now come to Andy Armstrong, who will explain a little bit about how the department works. Over to you, Andy.
Thanks very much. My name's Andy Armstrong, and I'm an Additional Learning Support Manager, and I'm based over at our Openshaw campus. And I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about our department. So supported learning is quite a large and diverse department that operates in quite a different number of ways. So we have two main areas of our department. One is the side that runs courses, and the other is the side which I'm a part, which runs support for those courses and also for wider mainstream courses. So on the supported learning courses side, we have a number of courses that are our roots courses, and they provide specialist discrete provision for learners. There's roots to learning, roots to skills, roots to community, and they're all designed for people to have some time to come into college, get used to being in college, and then either move on to a mainstream course or move on to our internships or move on to getting support in the wider community for supported living. The other courses that we also run, which Andrew will explain about later, are the supported internships. And they are designed for people with special educational needs and disabilities who need that little bit extra help to get into work. He'll explain a little bit more about them. They're very, very successful. We have recruits from mainstream courses at all different levels, from level 1, level 2, and level 3 that go on to those courses. And we also have external recruits that come straight onto those internships. Sometimes people need a little bit more time, so they'll go on to a pre-internship, and that prepares them for the world of work. But Andrew can explain a little bit more about that. We also have then my side of things, which is sort of mainstream support. So when you come to us to study at the Manchester College and you want to go on to, say, catering or automotive, if you have a learning difficulty or disability and you have an educational health and care plan, then you might come through our transition team. Again, Allison will explain a little bit more about that later, or you might just find out a little bit more about the courses from the website or an event like this and turn up and enroll during our enrolment process. You might meet one of our team at that process, or when you make a disclosure, hopefully, to your teachers or through the enrolment process on the application form, you might get asked to meet one of our team, and then we can discuss how we can support you. And we provide support at all different levels, including sometimes in HE. And we provide support for people with learning difficulties, people with physical disabilities, people who are deaf, people with visual impairments. And we've got a wide skill set that can provide support in that area. We don't just provide support for high needs learners, that is students with education, health and care plans. We also do provide support for students with disabilities that don't qualify for an education, health and care plan. And we provide support for adults as well. So they're the two main areas. There is a couple of other areas, one of which I've mentioned. So part of the department is managed by Allison Armstrong, and they're our transition team. They're a really important part of our team because they're the people that work with people, as the name suggests, that are coming into college. And they help you find the right course, help you find the right support, put you in touch with teachers, put you in touch with us, put you in touch with careers and welfare, or work with you in schools. Alison will tell you a little more about that in a little while. We also have a team who provide support around dyslexia and specific learning difficulties. And they also do exam access arrangements as well. So they're quite a large team. They have specialist practitioners within that team, and they run study skills hubs as well. So they've been particularly important this year, making sure that people get the right access for exams and also study skills support to catch up, because we've had blended learning where some people have been in for classes and some people have been online for classes as well. So that's a general overview of the department, and I'll let the individuals tell you a little bit more about their own teams.
Thanks, Andy. Alison, over to you.
Hi everybody, as Andy said, my name's Allison Armstrong and I'm the team leader for the transition team. So the transition team consists of 4 transition officers, and we're all linked to local authorities and specific schools. So whichever school you go to or whichever local authority you're with, you'll have your own dedicated transition officer to work with you to get you ready for leaving school and coming to college. We understand that it can be quite scary when you've been in school and everybody knows you and you know how to help you when you're in college and school. So our job is to make sure that that transition from you leaving school and coming to college is as smooth as possible. And when you start in September, that you don't feel as scared as you were before. So we'll do whatever it is that you need to help you leave school and come to college. So that could be to come in and to meet some key people. It could be to come and have a look around the campus. It also could be that you could come in for a taster session, or come in to meet a tutor to find out a bit more about the course, meet other people that you're going to be starting college with in September. So we'll sit down with you and we'll work out what you actually need, because obviously everybody's an individual and every person will need something different to make sure that their transition from school to college is as smooth as possible. And we work with lots of different people within the college and outside of the college to make sure that happens, and pass all the information over that we need to, so that when you start in September, that everybody understands what support and help you're going to need. And we're all there to help you make sure you have a smooth transition. I'm now going to pass over to Adele, that's going to tell you a little bit more about the support that you can expect or you might need when you come to college in September.
Okay, thanks, Alison. My name's Adele and I'm one of the additional learning support managers. So I'm based at Nichols and Harper Hay, but there are a number of campuses that you can choose from. So the area that I work, it's the support side that Andy mentioned earlier. So we work across all the campuses and across all the different courses. So you choose the course that fills you with excitement and that you want to study, and where you want to be when you're looking towards where you want to get a job and where you want to get employment. And then we work with you from there. So it could be any course on any campus. So you might want to choose to study health and social care, motor vehicle or engineering, or you might want to go into hair and beauty. Whatever course inspires you, that's where you choose to study. So then we work very closely with the transition team. So if you come through, we'll work with the transition officer and they will share their the support plan that they have written with you so that we know how to support you. And then we work with you, your family, and with your curriculum area to make sure that your support needs are met. So I think the message from our side, from support, is that you choose the course that's right for you, and then we work to provide that support to help you achieve and reach your goals. So that's the additional learning support side, and I'll talk a little bit more about the team later. But I'm going to pass on to Danny now. So Danny does our Roots courses, and he'll tell you a little bit more about what goes on there.
Brilliant, thanks Adele. So my name's Danny, so I'm Daniel Kirk, and I'm the manager for the Roots programmes. And we deliver those at 2 sites. They're taught at Northenden, and they're also taught at Openshaw. And they're specifically designed for people who have an EHCP. And our plan is to grow your confidence, to help you with your independent skills, to get you a little bit of work experience. And along that journey, we're also going to try and improve your maths and English. So a lot of our learners are perhaps because of your academic skills, you're not quite ready for mainstream, or sometimes your academic skills might be quite good, but you're a little bit nervous and you want to get used to the college and the college environment. And that's exactly what we're for. So we have Roots to Community, Roots to Learning, and Roots to Skills. And we can work out which is the best level for you to start at. And sometimes students stay with us for 3 years. Sometimes they only stay with us for 1 year. And we're a good stepping stone into the wider college if you wanted to study perhaps IT or motor vehicle or construction, but we can give you a strong foundation ready for that. Or we work really closely with the supported internships, and we're a really good stepping stone for that. A lot of our students eventually end up on the supported internships and they get really good results from doing that. So the best person to talk about the supported internships is Andrew. So I'll pass you on to Andrew Parkinson.
Thank you, Danny. Yes, my name's Andrew, as Danny's just said, and I'm a tutor on the supported internships. The supported internships are for young people between 16 and 25 with an education, health and care plan who want to get a job but need support to do so. Now, we're based at 6 different sites across Manchester. So the sites are Manchester Airport, Central Manchester Hospital, Wythenshawe Hospital, Media City, Manchester Council, and a new digital internship, which we started this last year. Now, students who come onto these host sites will have the opportunity to try up to 3 different work placements, and they'll receive support throughout that time. The idea is that they can try a work placement that suits their individual aspirations and skills. They also have the opportunity to perhaps try things that they never thought about before and give them the opportunity to kind of find out more about what the journey of work is for them. We also work in partnership with Pure Innovations, and they provide employment officers for us who source different work placements for the people on the program, as well as try to secure paid work. So the internship is really a transition from college into work with support, with the idea that at the end of the program, you'll move into paid employment. And we've been very successful. So it's a system that certainly has worked well. So I think I'm passing over to Adele now.
I think, Alison, if you can introduce our student who has volunteered to do this, we really appreciate this. So if you could introduce our student, please, Alison.
Yeah, so we've got Mia with us today. So Mia is one of our current students, and she's on level 2 music performance, our Sheena Simon campus. So a little bit later on, she's going to answer some questions from us about what a time was like before she started college in transition and what a time's been like in college. So as Adele said, it's really good that we've got one of our current students to be able to tell you what her experience before starting college and during a time at college is about.
Brilliant, thank you, and thank you to you all. I mean, it's amazing the support that the students receive when they join us at the college, isn't it? So just the sort of first question, we're talking about sort of applications. So I'll direct this question to Alison actually. So what help can the students receive when they're making their application?
There's loads of different help you can receive to fill out your application. So at the moment, all applications are completed online. So there's various different ways that you can get support and help with that if you need it. If you're okay to do it yourself, fantastic. You just log on to the Manchester College website. You go into the application portal and you will set up a username and password, choose the course that you want to go on to, and then you will just follow the route and complete the application. And each stage it will tell you where you're up to. We've also got a dedicated inquiries line, which is inquiries@tmc.ac.uk, or you can also telephone them on 033 33 222 444. And they've got dedicated members of staff that will be there to help you if you're struggling to fill out your application form and you want some help. We've also got our transition team inbox, which is transitionteam@tmc.ac.uk. And if you send an email to that transition email inbox, and the transition officer that works with you will be able to make contact with you via phone, and they will be able to help you through step by step through the process. Also, you can discuss with your schools, careers advisors, your teachers that help you in school. So any one of them people can help you. So there's lots of help within the college, within the transition team, the inquiries, or you can also get some help from a parent and from somebody in your school that can help you complete the form. But there's always help available.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Alison. And we also do have a team who are on hand this evening as well from the inquiries team. So we'll pop that in the chat box as well. So if you did want to speak to anybody this evening, or you wanted to apply for one of our courses, they're on hand to be able to help you this evening. So Alison, sort of what happens sort of after the sort of application process? So what happens between now and when the student starts in September?
Okay, so once you complete your application form, you will start working with the transition officer. So that could come from either an email to the transition email inbox, it could come from a telephone call. to the specific transition officer from yourself, from a parent or carer. It could come from somebody from your school. So once we know that you want to come to the college, and we start working with you, so we'll sit down and we'll look at a transition package for you, so whatever that looks like, as I explained earlier. But also part of that is to gather all the information that we need to help you when you start in September. So like Adele mentioned, we complete something called a support plan. So it's a little bit of a pen portrait about yourself, and then teaching strategies and support strategies. So what help do you need inside and outside of the classroom? And we find that support through sitting down and talking to you, finding out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If you've got an educational healthcare plan, we'll have a look at that. And we'll also sit down and we'll speak to your parents, your carers, we'll speak to your TAs that help you in school, anybody that works with you and knows how to support you best. We will work with them to find out how, when you start in September, what all the staff need to know. And all that information then is passed on to the staff that are going to be working with you inside and outside of the classroom in September to make sure that we support you as best we can.
That's brilliant, thank you. I think
so. Sorry, yeah, I'm just,
go on.
So I'm just going to ask Mia a question now. So Mia, how did the transition team help you prepare and get ready for college?
So Alison from the transition team came to my school several times to meet with me, my mum and my support staff at school. This was so the transition team could understand my needs and help me prepare for starting college. I was registered to attend an open evening at Sheena Simon whilst in year 11, but then lockdown happened and the whole college was closed. I felt anxious as I had never been inside Sheena Simon campus and I didn't want to start in September without seeing inside. Alison from the transition team organised for me and my mum to come inside and we were given a tour of the campus. This massively helped my anxiety levels.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Mia. We have actually just had a question through from Jane just to say, when does a support plan meeting take place, Alison?
It can take place at different times throughout the year, so it depends. Sometimes it's not actually that, you know, a group of people sit down. The support plan's built on over time, so it could be that I could have a telephone call with a parent and a young person. It could be that I start building it up through attending an education healthcare plan review, or through meeting people. So it is not actually specifically a set time. It's just built up. That pitch is built up over a set amount of time by talking to different people, reading the education healthcare plan, speaking to staff in school, speaking to the parent and to the young person. And it can start as early as it needs to do and then built up over time because things could change.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Could I just jump in there, Amy, about the support plans just quickly, because just how that links up, because we will then pick that support plan up and then review it termly in the time that you're with us, because needs change, people change, you know, so we review that. But also I don't want people to worry if you come to the college and you haven't come through the transition team. If you declare if you've got an education healthcare plan, then you can meet with our team. It's really great if you can come through the transition team because they have really good links with the schools, but I don't want you to worry if you feel that you've missed that, but we'll pick that up. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. I've got another question now. So who will help the students, sorry, when they do start college? So that's going to go out to all of you, but I'll come to Alison first for that question.
So yeah, so as I said, we're part of the transition team. So we work with the young person before they start college in September. But once they start college in September, then we'll be working with all the other different support staff inside and outside the classroom. But your transition officer won't disappear. So we're still there in the background for the first year you're in college. So if you struggle with anything, we can either talk to you, talk to your parents and carers. We could talk to your tutor, some of the support staff, the ALS managers, just to make sure that whatever things you might find hard and difficult in them first few days, first few weeks of college, that we're still there because we've been that link person with you throughout your journey into college. We'll still be there in the background through your journey as you continue in college, and work with all the other agencies and the internal staff that are there to make sure that if you're struggling with anything or you found out that this course isn't for me, then we can help you look and explore all different courses.
Right,
and
so
then, as I said, work with everybody else that's involved.
Right, so they can come back to you at any time.
Yeah, definitely. We're still there. As I said, once you start college, we don't disappear. We're still that link person, or we can still work with you and support you along with everybody else in the college.
That's brilliant. Adele, do you want to add to that?
I will, and I'll just, there's lots of people at college to help and support you. So every student that comes to the college, you'll have your curriculum tutor. So say you choose hair and beauty, you'll have your hair and beauty tutor, and they will read the support plan. They might put some differentiation in the classroom, just adapt some of their teaching to help you overcome any barriers that you have. So you'll have your curriculum tutor. And then on top of that, you'll have an achievement tutor. So the achievement tutor will help keep and monitor your progress. So they'll keep an eye on your attendance. And if your attendance is dropping, they might come and have a chat with you to see what's preventing you from coming to college. And they'll also keep a track of your progress as well. So they're really there to support you so that you don't fall behind, or if they do notice you're falling behind, they'll work with you to see why that is and what we can do to help. On top of that as well, departments have student mentors. So student mentors will work outside the classroom on any pastoral needs that you have. So they might be there if things are getting, if you've got particular difficulties at the time, then there'll be a mentor that you can get in touch with. And mentors will share their mobile numbers with you. So you might drop them a text and say, oh, I'm not having a good day today, I really need to speak to you, and then they'll arrange to talk to you. So that's brilliant. And on every campus, in addition to those people, we have a student experience team. So the student experience team are great, and they work with external agencies. So you might be working with somebody outside of college, so they'll link in with those people. And they'll also, if there's any safeguarding needs that arise while you're at college, they'll make sure that they are taken care of and they will keep you safe. But the student experience team are also responsible for enrichment, which is fantastic. So if you've got any ideas about any clubs or any activities that you'd like to do, speak to your student experience practitioner on the site that you're at, and they'd love to get involved in any ideas that students have got as well. So that's for every single student that comes to the college. So it's a real good wraparound support. For students with education healthcare plans, they may get some additional specific support from our team. And Andy's just going to talk to you a little bit about that. Do you want to tell us about the support for students with education healthcare plans, Andy?
I will do. Thanks very much for that. So can everybody see me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's okay, because I've not popping myself up on the main screen, so I didn't know whether I was just talking into the darkness. So if you've got an education, health and care plan, or a special educational need or disability, and you come to college, and Alison has been bothering me since April about this person coming to college and what they need and what they want, and maybe you've been in and had a look around the automotive department or the childcare department, and you've met me, and you've met some people from my team, and you've met some tutors. If you go through all of that process, you'll meet some people from our team called support workers, especially support workers, SSPs, and they're the people on the ground that work in the classroom and around the college to work with you to ensure that the needs that arise because of your disability or learning difficulty, or your social and emotional or mental health needs, are met. We work very closely with the transition team. We've also got very good working relationships with all of the curriculum areas. And we're kind of like we're in the middle between you and all the other services within the college to help you access those services, including your curriculum areas. And the role that we have for the first part of the half term is to get to know you and get to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Hopefully we'll have done this already with working with Alison's team, but you might have just turned up in September with your mum or with your best mate, and say that you want to do hairdressing or you want to do catering, and that's the first time that you've met anybody at college. And we might help you through that enrollment as well. And we might help you talk to a guidance team and the welfare team. We might help you sort out some finances. We haven't got the answer to everything, but we know people that have. And that's really our role at that point. And then during the, as I said, during the first half term, we get to know you. We might read your support plan. We'll read your education, health and care plan. We'll also, because we know the department, we'll also talk to the people in the department a little bit about you with your permission and get them to understand how to teach you best and how to support you best. We've got lots of people in our department with lots of different skills. So it could be that you don't actually need a support worker with you in the classroom, but what you might need is some assistive technology. And so we've got specialist assistive tech people who can work with you before you come to us and when you come to us to make sure that we've got the right assistive technology with you in the classroom. So we've got a young man with us at the moment who has some speech difficulties and physical disabilities, and he's learning how to use his assistive technology. He's doing creative media so that he can function independently, because by the time he leaves us, he needs to be able to be a master of all of that. And that's what he's learning to do as well, as learning how to use creative media technology. And we're helping him with that. We've got some young guys at the moment who are in automotive who are deaf, and they've got a communication support worker. And that communication support worker is there to help them use British Sign Language to interpret for them so that they can learn how to be mechanics and their teachers can communicate that with them. It's fun for all of them because they're learning new signs about automotive, about what a jack is and what a big end is and what suspension is and things like that. So they're learning all of this interesting stuff at the moment. And it's a learning journey for them, and it's a learning journey for the CSW, the communication support work as well. We also provide discrete personal care. So some of our students just need a little bit of extra help when they go to the toilet or accessing the canteen, or maybe even just accessing the library. But we do all of that as well. And we've got some quite specialist practitioners in our team that work with you if you've got specific medical conditions. So you need to be very open with us. We want your honesty when you come to us. Tell us all about yourself. And that first half term is all about getting to know you. Over the years that you're with us, we get to know you better. And hopefully, as you become more independent, you don't need us around as much. And maybe what you can do is meet with us once a week, maybe as a key working slot. Maybe you do online support instead. There's been some very interesting ways that we can support people that have happened during the lockdown. So quite a lot of people have found they actually quite like working virtually through Teams or Zoom, and they work with our team through that and become more independent. So that's what we do, and that's sort of how we do it. But if you've got any questions whatsoever, then get in touch with Alison. She'll get in touch with us. We can meet you and we can talk about anything that you need. And we're very good at trying to find solutions for all kinds of problems. And you won't believe some of the ridiculous problems that we have and some of the more serious problems that we've managed to resolve over the years.
Thanks, Andy. I'm going to pass over to Andrew now for the same question.
Yeah, as soon as we have a referral, we will invite students, this for the internship, for an information session, which we've been running virtually, and it gives people the opportunity to kind of find out a little bit more detail about the programme and an opportunity to ask questions. All being well, at that point, we set up interviews for people who are interested. When I say interviews, they're very informal. It's really an opportunity to get to know you. And if the course is right for you, then we then invite you to what we kind of call keeping warm sessions, which will give you opportunity to meet other young people on the programme that you'll be starting in September. Again, they're virtual at the moment, and we may well be keeping them that way, even if restrictions change. Once we've done those sessions, we then go into partners from Pure Innovations will be in touch over the summer, and they'll do something called profiling, where they'll ask each individual about the kind of job aspirations they have, their support needs, whether they need help with travel, and what they'll do is then start to look for work placements so that when you do start in September, we'll be prepared and ready for you all to start that journey into a work placement. Now, when you do start on the internship at one of the host sites, we have a 2-week induction period where, because they're a big site and they're off-site from the college as such, we spend a lot of time not only going through the kind of college processes and rules, and we also then spend a lot of time making sure that the students are comfortable around these big sites like the airport and like the hospitals. And we make sure that no students are going to work on their own to begin with, and that everybody's comfortable. So it's a really supported environment amongst some big employers. It's exciting, but we are always there by your side each step of the way. So that's the kind of general process, right from application, whether that's come from the transition team or whether you've made an application on your own, through to starting the program, and then hopefully through into work placement.
That's brilliant, thank you. And over to you, Danny, as well.
Cool. So basically for Roots, it's very similar to what my colleagues have talked about. So with the Roots programs, as I've mentioned, it's for people who have an EHCP. So the chances are for almost all of the students who come onto my program or the Roots programs, they would have passed through Alison's team. So Allison already would have spoken to the tutors about the kind of way you like to learn, about your needs, about how best we can help you reach your targets, the targets that are laid down in your EHCP. The other thing is as well, the Roots classes are quite small. You're looking at about 10 learners. So you're going to get to know your tutor really well. And you're going to get to know the support workers as well who work in those classes. So when it comes to, if you're a little bit worried or you're nervous or you need some help, you're going to have a really good relationship with your tutor and with the support workers. So hopefully that will put your mind at rest and you won't feel anxious. The other thing is as well, when you're out on placements, as Andrew said, we'll have a job coach. The job coach will support you while you're doing your work experience within the college. We also have a close relationship with the student experience team who help everyone within the college. But if there was something a bit more serious and you didn't feel confident talking to your tutor about it, then you could go to the student experience team and they'd be able to help with any of your problems. So whatever help you need while you're at college, whether it's a physical need or it's your learning style, or whether it's perhaps a hearing impairment or a visual impairment, we'll know about that hopefully in advance, and we would have factored it in. And once you join, we'll be prepared to help you with that. So we're going to make it really easy for you to fit in, hit the ground running, and hopefully make lots of friends and have a great time while you're at the college. Who am I passing to? Or is that it?
Me, yeah.
Just over to Alison.
How do the staff in college help you now?
I have a support worker called Lexi who sits near me in class to help me understand my work. My teacher always checks on me to make sure I'm understanding everything. My teacher Lexi and my mum email each other to resolve any issues. This really helps me. I also meet with Olga from the safeguarding team, and she gives me emotional support when needed. I have also been receiving one-to-one dyslexia support for 1 hour each week from the dyslexia team.
Thanks, Mia.
Thanks, Mia. So we've just got sort of one more sort of topic we want to sort of discuss, but obviously we've heard from everybody and the wonderful support that that the students will receive. Just sort of why should the students come to study at the Manchester College? So Adele, I'm going to come to you first with that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely should come and study at the Manchester College. Definitely should. I'm hoping that you're getting the information you get, and you're getting the impression that there's lots of people. There is lots of people in lots of different departments, not just ours, but there's lots of people to help and support you when you come to study with us. And it's about getting that wraparound support so that you can be the best that you can be while you're with us at the college, and that you can achieve what you want to achieve. You can reach your potential. You can complete the courses. We've had some real great success stories this year. Well, over the past years, where students have come to us at level 1 and they've worked through courses, and now they're progressing on to higher education and going to university. And that's absolutely amazing. And it's a credit to them and their hard work and how they've worked and engaged with all that support. So, I mean, Mia's just mentioned a couple of the teams, and we do have a dyslexia team within the college, and they support students with specific learning difficulties, but also students with a declared SEN need. It doesn't necessarily need to be dyslexia. So they provide study skills sessions where students can book onto sessions where they'll work on their independent learning skills and their own study skills around organisation. So those are really good skills that you can take through your education and into employment. So that's a really good resource that you can access. And they also help with exam access arrangements. So if you need a reader or a scribe in exams, for example, they'll do the assessments around that to make sure that you get the support that you need. And they might do some specific interventions for students, like Mia's just mentioned. She has an hour of a week that's a specific intervention. So they might do that. So that's the dyslexia team, who are brilliant, and they have a presence on every campus. As part of that wider team, we also have assistive technologists, and we won a Beacon Award for our assistive technology, which was amazing. And we're looking at, again, using assistive technology to increase your independence. And again, if you learn those skills, you can take that through your education, but also take it into employment as well. I think we've all got better with technology because we've had to in lockdown, and we're using Teams in different modes, but the assistive technologists can work with you to overcome any barriers that you have and also increase your independence. So that's brilliant. So yeah, I hope we give the impression that that's all that support that you can access when you come. So you absolutely should come and study with us at the Manchester College. Andy, do you want to talk about our specific support, or why we should come if you've got an education, health and care plan specifically?
Hi, yeah, of course I will. The reason why I think you should come here is because we have loads of experience from working with hundreds and hundreds of students over the years to get them where they want to go, both from our team and in the curriculum areas. And we've got really good relationships with those curriculum areas. So what that means is if you come to us and you find that the course you're on isn't quite working out the way that you wanted to, we can adjust those courses for you. We can work around that with the curriculum areas. We're really good at making alterations so that people can get where they want to go. And I think that that is the key selling point. And I think that the kind of support that we provide is what we call holistic, it's wraparound. So it's all based around the people that you know. When you come to us, if say like a student Derek will come to us, we assemble a team Derek around Derek, and it's all the people that they need to know, and their support worker will be the key with them that will go alongside them and experience everything that they do. That even if they're not there in the classroom with you, they will help you. They'll attend all the events that you might want to go to. They'll go and talk to with you, with all the people that you might need to talk to make sure that you get the best out of your learning. And as Adele mentioned, we've got people that have come from roots programs. There's a young man that's come from a roots program that's now going to MMU to study art and design. And that is absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of him. And that shows you how far that you can go. And that's because of the excellent teaching that he's had and the excellent support that he's had. Not that I'm biased about support, but actually it is. And also the fact that he's been allowed to work to achieve his potential and find the kind of course that really gets to him and it allows him to think about a career. And that is what that's all about. Thinking about that, when you have an education, health and care plan, there's part of it that's called preparing for adulthood. That's what that education, health and care plan is all about. And it isn't just about the courses, to be honest, because the course is only part of it. It's also about you growing up and turning into the kind of adult that you want to be. And part of the support that we provide, and what part of the support that the SESWs provide, the student experience team provide, the mentors provide, the dyslexia team provide, is all about that. It's all about you preparing for adulthood and those what we call wider skills. Things about being ready to go on to Andrew's supported internship, timekeeping. Can you actually talk about your own personal skills and qualities? Your maths and English, help with your maths and English, understanding your maths and English. You might have had a terrible time with maths at school. And part of the job that we do is building those wider skills around your personal confidence, because you might learn, as I did, that it wasn't actually maths that was the problem. It was the way it had been taught to you in the past. And one of the things that we can do is help you learn what it is you need to learn. And that's part of all of those wider skills, all of that preparing for adulthood. Some of it is also about developing you as an individual in relation to your parents, getting your parents to understand that you're not a 10-year-old anymore. Then by the time that you leave us, you might be 19 or 20. And getting your parents to understand that the way that they need to understand you has changed as well. And that's part of that process, so that when you move to higher education or on the supportive internship, and you start working down at the airport and with in the mechanics pool there, that you're not the same person that came to us when you were 16, sorry. And that's part of what we do. And that's also part of the education and health and care plan process. We review those every year. It's a person-centered review. It might be, if your name is Tim, it'll be Planet Tim for an hour and a half, maybe, with you and your parents and the tutors and anybody else that's worked with you. And we review what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what we need to do to make that better for you next year. And then where may you go the year after, so that you've got a plan with us. So you're not just turning in year after year, but we've got a plan. And it's all about that preparing for adulthood. So that's where we're at with what we do and how we can help you reach your goals. And that's why you should come and work with us. I'm going to pass you over to Danny now, because he's going to explain a little bit more about the kind of projects that some of his students do that help them interact with the wider college and those wider skills.
Brilliant. Yes, so it's exactly like Andy just mentioned then about this preparing for adulthood. That's exactly what we're all about. And I think coming to somewhere like the Manchester College, whether you come to Northenden or Openshaw, if you're coming on one of the Roots programmes, it's the fact that you'll be in quite a bustling, exciting environment. And I think that will be the next progression for you to grow in your confidence and your independence as well. And it might start, you might be a little bit worried to start with, but you'll soon overcome that. And you'll really start to enjoy being in a big college, and you'll make lots of friends. That's part of what we want to do. So even though we're trying to teach you, improve your maths and English and your IT, because obviously they're beneficial to everyone, it's really trying to help you grow as a person. So we really want you to become more independent, much more confident, and grow your social circle. And we'll help you with those things. And kind of things that we do in class, well, we have an adapted kitchen. So we teach you how to make snacks for yourselves and make food for yourself. And you might already be able to do that. But if not, that's something we can work on, using washing machines, cleaning your clothes. Also, we can take advantage of the fact that the college has so many different subjects that we can get you tasters in those subjects. So let's say you really have an interest in motor vehicle, then maybe for an hour a week or 2 hours a week, we can get you a taster and you can go and try out motor vehicle, or you can try out construction, or you can try out IT or art or fashion, or all the different courses. So that's what we're doing. We're preparing you for your next steps, and we can find your work experience. The work experience that we offer on the Roots is all internal. So it might be working in the college canteen, or working with the premises officers, or in the wood shop where they cut all the wood to size, working in reprographics. So it's a little bit more, it's not as intensive as the work experience you do with Andrew on the supported internships, but it's a really good stepping stone, and it just sets you up and gives you an idea about maybe the kind of careers you'd want to go into. So that's what we're all about. We're about finding out what your skills are and improving them, also finding out what your weaknesses are and trying to help you progress in those areas as well, so that your whole package is improved by the time you leave us and you can go in the direction that you want to go to. And if that's finding work, then maybe it'd be to go towards Andrew's supported internships. And if actually you want to continue studying and do a specialised subject like art or IT or construction, then we can help you make that move as well. So that's what our programmes are all about. Brilliant. I'll pass you on to Andrew.
Yeah, I think I'll give you maybe an example of a success story from one of the students who came to us a couple of years ago. So a young person came to us with an aspiration of working in admin at our Wythenshawe Hospital site. So we gave her the opportunity to work in the patient files It's called the library over at Wythenshawe Hospital, where she would prepare files for the different wards around the hospital. She quite enjoyed it, but came back to us for her second rotation and said, I'd like to try a different environment and see if I can test my admin skills elsewhere. She then had an opportunity to try a work placement on the fracture clinic, where she was kind of the other side of where the files came. So she would actually then prepare the files in the wards for people's appointments that day, and would then put the files back ready for collection. And again, she decided that maybe there was a little bit too much computer work for her, and maybe her aspirations of working in an admin type role were not what she thought they were. And this is the beauty of coming on an internship. So we then spoke to her and gave her other options of what kind of roles she could try. And she decided that she would like to work on a ward. So we gave her the opportunity to assist on a ward and help with, it was dementia patients at the time, to access different activities, to help people if they needed to get food and drink, general comfort. And it was a role she really took to and enjoyed. We then investigated an apprenticeship for her, in which she applied for as a ward assistant, and she was successful. She then had a year as on the apprenticeship after the internship, and has recently won an NHS award, the Rising Star Award for the NHS Trust in Manchester. So it just shows a journey that the students can have. This young person came through the other programs that we work with and has now found a career that she never really knew she wanted to do, and has been extremely successful and recognised by all of her colleagues now in the hospital itself. So the program that we work on, you can have all sorts of aspirations and also come to us without any aspirations or real idea of what that journey is, and we can work with you to help you find that career and to support you into it. So that's why you should come to us and to come to the college and hopefully get the kind of work that you want.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for sharing that story, Andrew. That's great. I'm going to come to Amelia now, because I think a couple of questions have come through in the event.
So, Mia, how would you describe the Manchester College?
The Manchester College is the Manchester College is amazing and gives really good support for people with additional needs. I'm getting my learning needs met. A big reason for this is the communication I had and my mum had with the transition team before starting college and in the first weeks at college to make sure everything was in place. It is important that new students and their parents explain to the transition team exactly what they need.
Thank you. And the last question, Mia, what is the best thing about the Manchester College?
College is so different from school. I had a really tough time at school, but I love going to college. I love my music performance course as I love to sing, and singing is my dream career. I have made amazing lifelong friends who share my passion for music. I am treated more like a grown-up at college and I have a lot more freedom. Since starting college, my confidence levels have massively increased and I have positive self-esteem and I feel so much happier in myself.
Thank you, Mia. That's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you, Mia. We're now just going to take just a couple of questions that we've had come through. So the first one would be for our transition team. Is there a quiet space for me to go out at lunchtime and break times?
Yes, so in some of the campus there is a dedicated quiet room. We've got one in Northenden, and that room is just specifically for a small number of people that are allocated. So it's not like a drop-in that people can just go in and out of when they feel like it. It's somewhere specific that identified students are able to go in there to socialise or just to have some quiet space at lunch and break times. But in every single campus, you'll find as time goes on that it's not like school where you've got to go and have your lunch in the canteen. You've got to go and go with everybody else outside at break time. Each campus might not have a designated place for you to actually go to, but students find their own quiet space as time goes on in the year. And you can walk through campuses throughout the first couple of months, terms, and see that specific students have found their own quiet space in the campus. And you'll go at different lunch and break times, and you see the students sitting in the place where they found comfortable for them. And it could be on their own, or it could be they've made a friend or a couple of friends and they want to go somewhere and spend time with them.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. I know that we spoke so much about our support teams and all the support workers that we have, but for a student, do they have one set support worker throughout their entire time at the college, or will they have a few different people that they interact with and get support from?
I'll answer that if you like, Amelia. What we try to do is to build up consistency, because obviously those relationships with the people who support you, with your teachers and your support staff, are really important. So we try to create consistency wherever we can. We can't always promise it will be one person and it will be that one person all week, but what we do try to do is create consistency so that you have opportunity to build up those relationships. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, we can't guarantee it will be one person all the time, but we do try to provide consistency so we can build up really good relationships with those support workers.
Yeah, and there's always someone to speak to for some.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And as Alison said with the quiet spaces, we as those relationships build, students often find somebody who they are more comfortable with, so they know it might be the support worker who they'll go and speak to if they've got a particular problem, but they know if they've got a problem that's different to that they've got a good relationship with a mentor. So as those relationships build, students really do take ownership of asking for that help and knowing where to go.
Brilliant, thank you. We have just got one final question unless anything else comes through to the Q&A. This question is for supported learning. How do I get involved in working at the college? Let's take that one.
Do you want me to? Sorry, Danny.
Yeah, go quite possibly, yeah, because obviously I don't provide any jobs. So it's going to have to be you, Andy.
Okay, all right. It depends what you mean by working at the college. If you're interested in a career around support and being part of my team, then obviously it depends on which kind of role that you want, because some of the jobs that we have in my team require quite specific qualifications. If you wanted to be a dyslexia specialist, for instance, then you've got to basically go to university and you've got to do a degree, or you've got to do dyslexia qualifications. You can do some of those on the job while you're with us. So we do have members of our team that do that as well. If you wanted to work on supported internship, then we, for instance, as a support there, then what you might do is you might look out on our website for jobs that go. They do come up, and you'll be interviewed like anybody else. And if you pass it, you get the job there. And it's the same for a support worker. They come up quite frequently, but you can always come and talk to us, because there are courses that you can do prior to that you can, the college does them, but other places do them as well. There are apprenticeships as well that you can do to learn how to be a support worker and get the qualifications. It's quite different working with us than it is in the school, being a teaching assistant. But get in touch with Alison, or get in touch with myself or Adele, and we can explain how you can do a career path with that. You can also come along to our careers and welfare team on any of the campuses and ask about working as support. If you want to become a teacher or a tutor, then obviously you'd need to have teaching qualifications. So again, you can do those on the job. We do have people that actually take teaching qualifications while they're actually being support workers, and then eventually get jobs either on the internship or elsewhere, or in Danny's team or elsewhere, as specialist teachers. So there's lots of different career pathways. So either come and talk to one of us, or come to our careers and welfare people, and and any of our campuses, and they'll help you.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, Thank you so much, everybody, for your time this evening, and thank you to everybody who's attended our event this evening. And we do have at 6 o'clock, we do have some 15-minute drop-in sessions with all of our teams that you've seen this evening. So additional supported learning, and also the transition team. We've put the links in the chat box, so you can go on to the website to register if you haven't already registered for those sessions, and the team will be on there just to answer any questions that you may have. We've also got a couple more events taking place this evening. We've got one talking about our new campus, which will be opening in the city centre next year, and then also some redevelopments that have happened at Openshaw, which will be opening this summer, which is great, really exciting times. So again, thank you to all of our panelists this evening. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for attending. Bye-bye.